Martins. Coincidentally, our winners: number 1, Sean Tunis; number 2, Jesse Peterson; number 3, Nick Leonard; and in the 4th spot, Andy Martins. So not going to be much for changes there in the point standings, but definitely an interesting win tonight for our winner, Sean Tunis.
Sure looks like a sign of things to come for the season, that's for sure. Those are the guys you'll be expecting to watch have to work their way through that middle of the pack that we were talking about.
Well, we are switching gears over to the Midwest Modifieds. Now, this should be interesting. Total of 15 cars tonight, so it's another pretty big race in this one. And this is, like I said, their very first feature race of the year in Thursday night action here at Red River Coop Speedway. Last year they ran always on Monday nights. Now they are on the center stage, the limelight, as they get ready to race here for their first Thursday night feature. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the lineup of cars. We've got a total of 15 to roll through, and we'll start off on the pole position, driving the number 24. James Wall on his outside, driving the 88 Veert Landscaping's Paul Veert. Row number 2, the number 3 of Jason Somack. On his outside, driving the 18, it's Gary Unruh. In row number 3, it's the 4H of Grant Hall. On his outside, driving the number 44, it's Austin Hunter. In row number 4, it is the X5 of Rob Gordon. To his outside, Rick Hamill driving the number 22 car. Row number 5 has the 55 of Murray Cozy, followed by the 44X of Devin Gordon. In row 6, it's the 00D of David Delane and the number 20 of Nick Audette. In row number 7, the 4B of Brandon Rehill and the 4D of David Kuzenko. And in row number 8, driving the 84, he's the rookie, it's Justin Lee.
Well, we're getting started here with get the one to go. I got to send a shout out to Ryan Cousins, who's apparently in the field with a strained neck right now from falling asleep while the combine does the work for him. Couldn't be here to race tonight.
And of course, our sponsor for this race, Murray Cozy Trucking
special
Limited.
thanks.
Cozy up with us, www.murraycozytrucking.ca.
Some of our many
We are
sponsors,
just about ready to go here
including
in
Murray
modified,
Cozy
Midwest
Trucking
modified action. They're getting around turn number 3, going to turn 4. Como looking them over.
Oh.
And Veert jumps to the early lead. Paul Veert driving the 88.
Somebody lost some body parts on that start there. I don't know if we're going to see a debris caution here or...
A couple cars riding wide on the backstretch. Paul Veert getting a larger and larger lead after just one lap. Behind him, driving the number 3, that's Jason Somack. James Wall currently sitting in 3rd. Then it's Grant Hall in 4th, and then there's a couple guys working their way around him right now. Hall holding on to 4th, does he? Oh, it's pretty close. It's the 22 car. That's Rick Hamill.
Looks like Hamill and Hall are being just holding up Austin Hunter there through 3 and 4. But it looks like they got the better of them in through 1 and 2.
And we got a car that spun out on turn number 2. Let's see if he gets going, or we're going to have a yellow flag. Yeah, we got a yellow flag, ladies and gentlemen. First yellow flag of these features. And it looks like it's a caution on the 44X. That's Devin Gordon.
A special thanks to some of our many sponsors, including Murray Cozy Trucking Limited. With 28 years of experience and Canadian owned and operated, honesty, integrity, and loyalty are important. You can be confident when you cozy up with us. Check out our website at www.murraycozytrucking.ca.
Murray Cozy Trucking driving the number 55 car. He's in the 8th spot as he gets ready for this feature. First race of the season for him here at Red River Co-op Speedway, as well as the rest of these drivers. Though Paul Veer does race in the late model class, so he did get the opportunity to race last week, and he's currently in the front. Maybe that was a bit of an advantage. He had a taste of the track last week, so he knew what was going on.
Well, anytime you can put your butt in a seat and hang on to a steering wheel, it's not a disadvantage, that's for sure. I used to give Jamie a hard time last year. I think he drove, 60 shows, and we only had 25 or 27 truck races, so just you don't get into winner's circle that much by accident, and anytime you can hang on to a steering wheel, it's going to help you do that.
And of course, this year with the setbacks because of the weather, there were supposed to be some test and tune days. All that stuff gets delayed, so you basically run into here with no idea what the track's like until you get on it that night. Then you have to make your adjustments, correct?
Not so for some of these guys, but for the bulk of them, yes. Like I know Austin Hunter and Murray Cozy, Ryan Cousins, they've all been south of the border. I don't know about some of the other guys, but again, and even though the track's completely different, it's knowing and understanding how your race car acts, feels, and responds is going to be head and shoulders how you make it through your night one.
All right, we've got a green flag there. Going again, 13 laps to go. Paul Veer still in the lead in this one. It's Veer, followed by Wall. Somac on the inside, trying to get around Wall. Ooh, a little bit of rubbing of paint there between the 2 and the 3 spot. And they crowd around as they go around turn 4. Oh, we got a car off the track.
Rob Gordon.
Is he going to try to get out of there? Looks like we've got another yellow. Now, as much as we like seeing lots of cars on the track, this is what happens, especially early on in the season as everybody's getting their their bearings.
And even though some of these guys aren't rookies, they did change the transmission rule in these cars to from an automatic transmission to a Burt 2-speed, which is a bit of a challenge, to say the least, to keep it running if you sort of step on your so-and-so. But you can get used to it, and it'll improve as the years go on and the weeks go on, and these guys get used to just bumping it into neutral once they get up into trouble so they can keep the engine running.
Cars going around the track just trying to get back into order. Let's take a look at that one again.
Just a wicked push.
Yep. And it's the X5 sliding off the track.
It's not really a surprise, that X5 and 44X. That's Devin Gordon and Rob Gordon. If you watch either of them, they both seem to have that characteristics kind of from the middle and off the corner. So might have the same sort of setup going on, just guessing.
$15 cars in this feature race. Was about the norm last year for this class. They were fluctuating between 12 and up to 17 at one point, so 15 is not a bad way to start their season here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Very popular class south of the border.
Promoter's dream is what they call it. They race for very little money, and they put on a heck of a show. They'll drive to you, through you, and over you, wherever way they need to get to the front. Ooh, Austin Hunter was on the move.
Rick Hamill having some problems on the backstretch, manages to correct it. Veert still out in front. Wall right behind him. Followed by Somac. It's Hamill. And Somac getting passed now by Hamill. Hamill now trying to hold on to third spot. They're neck and neck on the backstretch, door to door.
Don't black flag him. Devin Gordon just had one of those wicked pushes, and then until he snapped around, and now he's parked right in front of the leader to make life interesting.
Paul Veert already going around lap traffic. Veert gets the inside lane. And Veert work his way around. They're close. Paul Veert makes his push around turn number 1, trying to get around him. Another car not far away in the distance. It's the 24 car trying to catch up to Paul Veert. That's James Wall. Rick Hamill currently holds 3rd spot, followed by Jason Somack. And it's the 4D trying to work their way in there. Trying to make a little grief for our leaders, I think.
Oh, we got a spinner. Ish.
Or getting a detour.
How come he could push the U tire and it ripped my front end off? Oh, wait, because he hit it with his bumper.
He's still going.
Nicely staying out of the way.
Justin Lee. 7 laps to go in this feature. Paul Veert still out in front. James Wall, these two guys last year put on a bit of a show. Trying to do it again this year. Rick Hamill. He's a few car lengths behind them. He's got a way to go. Somack currently holding on to 4th spot. Behind him. Paul Veert. 4 laps to go in this feature race. James Wall just not catching up. Or is he cautiously waiting? Waiting for that mistake. Waiting for that opportunity.
James Wall's been around the track a long time, but I don't think most of us race cars drivers have much in that way of patience, especially not when you're looking up at the lap board and it's showing only 3 to go.
Once again, it's going to get interesting here for our leaders. Veert, Wall, looking at lap traffic again. And look at Wall, he's trying to sneak in on the inside. Is that lap traffic, the number 18 car of Gary Unruh, going to cause problems for Paul Veert? Quick on his heels is that number 2 car. They are getting the last lap signal. 1 more to go. Oh boy. Oh boy. In turn 1. Wall could not get by Veert. And Veert. Quarter of a lap to go. Looks like he's got this one locked. Paul Veert with the win tonight, driving the number 88. The 24 car comes in second, followed by the 22 of Rick Hamill. The 03. That's Jason Somack coming in 4th. Paul Veert with the big win tonight. Here's your leaderboard.
Didn't Somack pick up a win? No.
First race of the season.
In Morden, maybe.
In Morden.
That must have been
Possibly
it.
could have been, yeah. A great race here tonight. And Jason Somack has that car dialed in. 21.012 seconds. It's going fast.
Was that the fast lap?
That was the fastest lap of all our leaders.
There's something to take home from your
race tonight,
effort.
yeah.
Yeah, that you're just a little short, but so you got your car dialed in, and you just got to work on your lap consistencies. That's half the battle. You know you got your car better than the field, then you can just focus on being a better driver. As drivers, we always want to blame the car.
It's like a mechanic blaming his tools, right?
That's right.
It
yeah.
shouldn't happen. The car probably performed correctly.
That's
it's
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
the guy behind the wheel.
So IT guys have a a term for that too, don't they? Isn't that a PEBCAC error? Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
We're going to head down to the center stage down there for Darren Palin in just a few seconds as Paul Veert gets out of his car. Of course, going to get a picture. Why not? Big night for him. And 15 cars tonight. There's your winner, Paul Veert. Lots to be happy about with tonight. And we're going to throw it down to Darren Palin.
For him from the Gold Eyes, and here is Paul Veert in the Midwest Modified Division. While that little number 88 working well here tonight.
We're great tonight. That lapper's a little bit of pain in the butt.
How much different is that from driving your late model?
It's a little easier.
No doubt. Okay, well, I'll let you hop in and get busy in that one.
Thanks, Darren.
Paul Veert, your winner, ladies and gentlemen, in the Midwest Modified Division.
All right, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Darren, and a big win for him tonight. The very first win here at Red River Co-op Speedway in that division. So we'll, of course, get the point standings at the end of the night, and we'll see how Paul does and how much of a lead he possibly has. Of course, that's not always the case, even on the first race, because last week, Scott Greer, of course, won the feature race, but Danny Staff is currently leading in the point standings in the modified. That, of course, could change next, because we are going to be moving on